Hey everyone, thanks for joining me today. Let me ask you this. How often do you think about the prices on the shelves at Walmart? You know, those everyday low prices we've all come to count on. Well, there's some news you need to hear, and it might affect your wallet sooner than you think. Walmart, the biggest retailer in the US, recently hinted that prices could go up, and it's tied to some major changes in government policies. Yep, we're talking tariffs. But before you worry too much, let's break down what's going on, what it means for you, and how you can stay prepared. So, here's the big picture. Walmart CFO, John David Rainey, explained that new tariffs proposed by President-elect Donald Trump might force the company to raise prices on certain products. Now, I know tariffs might sound like one of those dry economic terms, but stick with me, it's actually pretty simple. A tariff is just a tax on goods imported into the country. Companies like Walmart have to pay these taxes when they bring in products. And guess what? Those costs often get passed down to us, the consumers. So then, you might be wondering, what kind of products are we talking about here? Well, Walmart hasn't given a specific list yet, but experts are pointing to categories like electronics, clothing, and toys. Things we all shop for, especially during the holidays. On the bright side, about 2/3 of Walmart's items are made, grown, or assembled right here in the US. That means a lot of groceries and household staples aren't directly affected. Still, with general merchandise like TVs or winter jackets, you might notice some price hikes if these tariffs kick in. And here's where it gets a little more interesting. These tariffs aren't brand new. We've been living with similar ones since Trump's first term, and companies, including Walmart, have adjusted by diversifying where they get their products. For example, instead of relying heavily on imports from one country, they've been spreading out their supply chains. But this time around, the tariffs could be as high as 60% on goods from China, with a flat 10% tax on all imports across the board. That's a big jump. Now let's talk about inflation, because that's the other elephant in the room. Inflation's been cooling off recently, which has been a relief for many of us. But these new tariffs could push prices back up. Think of it this way. If retailers are paying more to bring products into the country, those higher costs can ripple through the economy. And while Walmart says it will work with suppliers and lean on its private label brands to keep prices low, there's only so much they can do. So, what does this mean for you? First off, it's a good idea to be proactive. If there are big-ticket items you've been planning to buy, like a laptop or home appliance, it might be worth considering that purchase sooner rather than later. Prices on some of these products could climb depending on how and when these tariffs roll out. Another thing you can do is focus on shopping smart. Walmart has built its reputation on value, so even with potential price increases, there will still be ways to save. Keep an eye out for deals on store brands, which are often less expensive than national brands. Also, take advantage of Walmart's pickup and delivery services. These are growing fast and can save you time and money if used strategically. Speaking of strategy, let's not forget other retailers like Target, Amazon, or Costco. They're also navigating this tariff landscape, and competition between them could lead to promotions or sales as they try to win over customers. Don't hesitate to shop around. Even small savings can add up, especially if prices do start creeping higher. And you know what? This isn't just about buying stuff. It's also a good time to review your budget. Inflation, tariffs, higher interest rates, it all connects. If you're spending more on daily essentials or holiday gifts, think about where you can cut back or make adjustments elsewhere. For instance, consider meal planning to save on groceries or using apps to track your spending more closely. These little shifts can help you stay ahead, no matter what's happening in the economy. Now, let's zoom out for a second. This tariff issue highlights something bigger about how interconnected our economy is. Policies made in Washington, decisions by retailers, and global trade all have a direct impact on the prices you see at the store. It's easy to feel like these forces are out of our control, but staying informed and prepared puts you back in the driver's seat. So then what's next? Well, Walmart hasn't set a timeline for when these potential price changes might happen. That means there's still some uncertainty, and honestly, that's frustrating. But here's the silver lining. Walmart and other retailers are pretty experienced in dealing with tariffs. They've been managing this kind of thing for years and have systems in place to soften the impact as much as possible. And with consumers like you paying attention, companies have even more incentive to keep prices as fair as they can. All right, let's wrap this up. Prices going up is never something we want to hear, but understanding why it might happen and how to prepare can make a big difference. Keep an eye on the news, watch for changes at your local store, and stay flexible in your shopping habits. Remember, knowledge is power, and every step you take to be more informed helps you make better choices for yourself and your family. If you've got thoughts, questions, or tips of your own, drop them in the comments. Let's help each other out because we're all in this together. And as always, I'll see you next time with more ways to make sense of the financial world around us. Take care and happy saving.